Americans and future Americans praise mankind and the God Emperor himself. Trumpinor is what we call him. We call him Trumpinor on this channel. Today, we are going to be diving into all the new executive orders that Trump signed. Now, I wouldn't have known this was going on because I don't follow any mainstream news because mainstream news is cringe. Forbes literally streamed this whole thing 18 hours ago. The only reason why I know about it is because they saw some meltdowns. And we will look at the meltdowns. Don't worry. We love meltdowns on this channel. We support meltdowns. We support people with mental disabilities more than anyone else on the internet because their mental disabilities pay my rent. Shout out to the retards. Let's jump right into what my goat is doing over here. Pissing off more people. We love them so much. All right, let's see what this is all about. Nux on the grind. Let's see all the new executive orders and why people are so mad. He's so orange, the way he sits there, menacingly. He's orange. What nice pores on that Trump. Orange pores, the best color of pores.
Thank you very much. We have some very exciting news today.
Oh, shit.
Numerous fronts are being covered. Before we do that, we'll give you certain proclamations. We'll sign them, and you'll hear a little bit about them. Will, please?
Yes, sir. Dude, it is crazy that he signs executive orders while simultaneously answering questions posed by journalists. It's like the biggest ball strategy of all time. Bro actually just flips his giant orange meat all over the table. It is crazy. It's insane.
First, we have, for your signature, 5 official designations.
Is this all just a flex on Biden because Biden doesn't talk to reporters? Like, this is, or is this like his only free time where he could talk to reporters while he's just signing shit?
Nations of special envoys. The first is Mr. Steve Witkoff, who's actually in the room to be your Middle East envoy.
Middle East envoy, don't send condoms to Gaza. We don't like that at all. What a waste of good rubber. I mean, you know what I'm saying. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Where is Steve? Right here, Mr. Steve Witkoff, everybody. Done a great job in the Middle East. Really great. But we'll see how it
I like the way he put a Star of David on that church instead of a cross. That was very cool. No, that was a joke. That was a joke. Don't listen. When the orange spirit invades me, you cannot trust anything I say.
Turns out it's complex, but I think he's going to do very well.
Next,
I am the first ever orange DEI hire. I do a fantastic job.
we have Mauricio Carone to be your special envoy to Latin America, sir.
Oh, Latin America sounds like future United States to me.
Good man.
I have to stop. The president is signing stuff, chat. Stop making me orange spirit. God.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have retired General Keith Kellogg to be your special envoy on Russian-Ukraine issues.
I really like what he did with the frosted flakes.
We've made a lot of progress on Russia, Ukraine.
Ooh, that's crazy. He's just gonna drop that update now randomly?
We'll see what happens, but a lot of progress has been made.
Holy crap! Okay, obviously, listen, it's the media. You never trust the media. You don't hate the media enough. But if that's true, that's crazy.
We're going to stop that ridiculous war.
Shit. All right, let's see. I mean, dude's been keeping his word so far.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have designation of Rick Grinnell, to be your envoy for special missions.
Special missions? That sounds like what I do with Melania every second weekend.
To California to turn on the water. We turned it on.
Turn on the water. Dude, how was California so fucking cooked before the Orange Man showed up? That's crazy.
It was not easy because we had to go through a lot of environmentalists that are causing a lot of problems.
Dude, why would environmentalists cause problems when your country, the city is burning down? The city is on fire. And the environmentalists are like, well, this might be dangerous for humanity in a couple hundred years. Let's leave the fires firing.
Billions of gallons of water.
Holy shit.
It was on 3 days ago. You probably saw. Should have gotten a lot of press, but it didn't get much.
I didn't see any press about this at all, by the way.
All we're doing is giving Los Angeles and the entire state of California virtually unlimited water.
That's fucking insane. Every death that happened because of these fires, okay, I don't want to say every death is on the hands of somebody else. That sounds pretty insane. I just get mad and upset when people's lives are literally put on the sidelines because of smelt fish and DEI.
Which they could have done 5 years ago.
Oh,
which
God.
I told them they should do, but the environmentalists stopped them, and we opened it, and we did it regardless of the state.
I love how he knows that these things that happen get no press. So he's using his signing executive orders as a platform to actually say what's going on. That is so, like, smart.
And now the state seems to be...
California just wanted to be as orange as I was, but I said no. No, 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 we will not have any more orange states after my own.
Very happy. I spoke with Gavin Newsom, and
Ooh, he called him by his real name.
he's very happy. I almost called him by the other name, didn't I?
What? It's like he literally uses the fake nicknames to bully people into listening, and he stops using the fake names when they actually start listening. Like, it's so fucking crazy. He just bullies these people around.
My little nickname for him, but
Not anymore.
I think
He's
they're all
listening.
happy. They have a lot of water in
He
California.
kissed the ring. He deserves his name back. We don't call him New Scum anymore.
When too bad we didn't have it about 2 months ago, right?
Yeah.
Mr. President, Rick
That was,
Grinnell
by
had
the
a
way,
big...
that was a big move. We have, I don't know if you saw the pictures that were released of the water pouring down from the Pacific Northwest and Canada and lots of other places.
Dude, I literally didn't even see
and
that.
it's a pretty amazing sight.
By the way, last time he said this, there were actual meltdowns on social media where people were saying he thinks that water is going to come from Canada because Canada is north. And since it's north, the water falls down. And they were like making fun of him for that, when that is obviously not what he said or meant at all. But like literally they took his words out of context to make him sound stupid. Like, I feel like it's insane. Listen, leftist media that is watching my video right now, any bit of leftist media, pick a lane. Either he's an evil villain mastermind or he's an orange retard. Pick a lane, stick with the script. He's orange.
Mr. President, Rick Grinnell had a big Friday trip as well. That's
Very
right.
big Friday. You're right. We'll talk about that. He's a good man, Rick.
Lastly, sir, we have a designation of Mark Burnett as your special envoy to the United Kingdom.
Him and
You
Morty.
know, Mark Burnett is
Survivor.
He should be good.
Dude is zooming into the executive order. Oh my God.
Certainly, you've done a great job. A friend of mine, and
Look
very
at my
talented
orange
guy.
fingers.
You know,
The way
people
they
working
finger
for us.
people is very good. I'm the best fingerer of any president that's ever lived.
Because Mark gets so much television, we'll hold it up, right? He'll be thrilled to see it. He's going to do a good job.
No one fingers like I do.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Next, your administration has smashed records
Woo!
for appointing large numbers of highly qualified, capable people at all levels of the federal government. These
All
are
right, that's crazy.
28 sub-cabinet level officials being appointed to a number of different departments and agencies. Some of them are quite important positions like departmental general counsels, but these are people who have been pre-vetted and have received your approval previously.
Very good.
So what's he signing? What is this order?
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
those
you, sir.
aren't, his signatures aren't words.
Next, this
They're
is an
squiggles.
executive order. This charges your Secretary of the Treasury, Scott Bessent, and your Secretary of Commerce, Howard Lutnick, to begin a process that will hopefully result in the creation of an
Oh my
American
God.
sovereign wealth fund.
Okay, I guess that's Howard Lutnick.
Very exciting event. We're going to have a sovereign wealth fund, which we've never had. We have a lot of things that create wealth, and you've seen that over the last 2 weeks. I think we've created more wealth. Other people have created de-wealth.
My new
People, my
signature.
predecessors.
It's gonna be
Creating a
crazy.
lot of
Don't
wealth.
look at it.
Scott, maybe you'd like to say something about it, and I'd ask also Howard to say something about it.
Yes, sir, this is very exciting. We're going to stand this thing up within the next 12 months. We're going to monetize the asset side of the U.S. balance sheet for the American people. We're going
Alright.
to put the assets to work, and I think it's going to be very exciting. We're going to study best practices that's done around the world. It'll be a combination of liquid assets that we have in this country as we work to bring them out for the American people.
All right, that, he really didn't explain anything, but that's cool.
Extraordinary size and scale of the U.S. government and the business it does with companies should create value for American citizens.
I agree. I just don't know how it's going to be implemented.
If we are going to buy 2 billion COVID vaccines, maybe we should have some warrants and some equity in these companies and have that grow for the help of the American people. So
Okay, that's what he's saying. That's incredible. Like, as some sort of giant fund for every single American, that every time America as a country does good business, some money goes into the fund that gets split up between every American. That would be kind of crazy. Again, I have no idea how this will be implemented. It'll probably be a couple of pennies, but it's still a cool idea.
bringing all these things together, I think Scott and I will create an amazing sovereign wealth fund for you, sir.
So other countries have sovereign wealth funds, and they're much smaller countries, and they're not the United States. We have tremendous potential in this country, tremendous. You're seeing that, what's happened just in a short period of time. And as an example, TikTok, we're going to be doing something perhaps with TikTok, perhaps not. If we make the right deal, we'll do it. Otherwise,
I love how he never puts his cards on the table. It's like, if TikTok wants to make business with us, they'll make a lot of money, and we'll make even more. If they don't want to make business with us, my red button is in the other room, and all of China will hear the explosion.
We won't, but I have the right to do that, and we might put that in the sovereign wealth fund, whatever we make, or if we do a partnership with very wealthy people, a lot of options, but we could put that as an example in the fund, and we have a lot of other things that we could put in the fund, and I think in a short period of time we'd have one of the biggest funds, and you know, some of them are pretty large, I must tell you. Some of the, like the Saudi Arabia fund is on the large side, but eventually we'll catch it.
All right, we'll see.
We're going to create a lot of wealth for the fund.
Again, I'm a very pessimistic. I'm not pessimistic. I take that back. I am stoic. I am cynical. I'm not satisfied ever unless I actually see results. I love talk. I've been primed not to trust the media. So maybe I'm wrong here, but I don't know, and I am cautiously optimistic that this will put more money in my bank account. What can I say? I would love that.
And I think it's about time that this country had a sovereign wealth fund, and these two gentlemen and some others are going to work with them very closely, and they'll be heading it up, and they're going to do a great job. Two highly respected people that have done unbelievably well in the world, in the real world. So that's a big deal, huh?
Yes, sir. I think it's going to create value and be of great strategic importance.
And it will pay for Greenland.
Elon Musk to have access to the payment systems.
Whoa! They're cooking him on that. Yo, there was a whole conspiracy that Elon Musk got access to everyone's social security number. That's crazy.
Treasury.
Well, he's got access only to letting people go that he thinks are no good if we agree with him. And it's only if we agree with him. He's a very talented guy from the standpoint of management and costs. And we put him in charge of seeing what he can do with certain groups and certain numbers. Some of the numbers are horrible, what he's found. Think of it, $100 million on condoms to Hamas.
The number keeps getting bigger every time last time he said it was 50 million. Now it's 100 million. $4 billion of condoms to terrorists all over the place. That's crazy. The number gets bigger every time. Well, there were extra large condoms. We didn't think of that.
Condoms to Hamas. And many other things that are frankly even more ridiculous. And
yeah, they use those condoms as like bombs, by the way. Like they use them to hold weapons and shit.
Finding tremendous waste, really waste, more than anything else, I think you could say. Probably fraud and abuse can be added to it. The more standard waste, fraud and abuse. But they're finding tremendous amounts of really bad things, bad spending. You've been writing about some of it, frankly, and some of the things that they've been doing is just terrible. Elon can't do and won't do anything without our approval, and we'll give him the approval.
I mean, I guess the fear is Elon getting all this information about different, like, random American people. That's really the fear. He still did not necessarily tackle that.
We're appropriate, we're not appropriate, we won't. But he reports in, and it's something that he feels very strongly about, and I'm impressed because he's running, obviously, a big company. It has nothing to do with, there's a conflict that we won't let him get near it. But he does have a good natural instinct. He's got a team of very talented people, and we're trying to shrink government, and he can probably shrink it as well as...
I love the concept of government efficiency, that they fire a lot of, like, deadweight and cringe people. I love that as a concept. I guess we'll see.
Anybody else, if not better. Where we think there's a conflict or there's a problem, we won't let him go near it. But he has some very good ideas, and we have a lot of very other talented people also. We're bringing in the most talented people in the world. By the way, we just unrelated, but we have two of the most talented people in the world, the legendary Rupert Murdoch and Larry Ellison. So they are two legends in...
They're legends. Look at this guy. What a legend.
Larry Ellison, so
legendary. When he fought in the Civil War, everything was different. The leftists were the racists back then, you know. I was there, I've seen it.
Two legends.
I know a lot of leftists, they love me.
In business, publishing, and probably every other. Rupert is...
Every poor on Rupert's face hates me, but he has to suck my dick like everybody else. Get in line.
Larry pretty much in a class by himself, right? I mean, although you may have a couple of bucks more, I don't know, but Rupert is in a class by himself. He's an amazing guy, and Larry is Larry's Larry. Larry's one of the most serious players anywhere in the world, so it's an honor.
Nux is being ageist right now. Chat, if you call me something that ends with ist or phobe, it means I'm doing something right.
To have you. This has nothing to do with you people, but they hear it. I thought it would be appropriate. I'm sure you didn't recognize them.
Bro's just sitting there making jokes, signing executive orders. It's crazy. Well, it's such a novel concept. I'm sure this will get boring in 4 years, but we'll see.
They're all going crazy. They say, what are they doing?
But we'll just, don't worry, we'll freeze him. We'll bring it back every 4 years. Cryo Trump is going to be huge. Cryo Trump, it's going to be huge. Every 4 years, more Trump.
Thank you.
Mr. President, on Elon Musk.
Is there any chance that Canada or China could also get out of the tariffs after you struck a deal with Mexico today?
Nobody's out with Mexico. We had a great talk with Mexico.
Yeah, I covered this already. He put tariffs on Canada and Mexico. He claimed that it was for finances. Lol. He claimed it was for finances. And in actuality, it was because he wanted to beef up the border. Mexico and Canada both immediately caved and are beefing up the border. Of course, right-wing people are saying huge Trump W, which it objectively was. And left-wing people are basically saying Trump folded on the tariffs, even though that was literally probably his plan the entire time. Like I said in my video predicting it. But anyway.
And we had President Sheinbaum is a woman. I like her very much.
She's a woman. Oh, she's a woman. I like her anyway. It's impressive. Most women don't command any form of presence. They're mostly small and scuttly. But I liked her. She was pretty good, even though she's a woman. Not bad.
Good relationships, but we have to stop fentanyl from coming in, whether I like somebody or not, and we have to stop the illegal aliens from coming in. I think we've lost 200,000 people on average a year for many years, much higher than the 100,000, could be even closer to 300,000. And they've agreed to put in 10,000 soldiers permanently, like forever, 10,000 soldiers at their side of the border and stop fentanyl and illegal aliens.
Dude, anyone that calls this a Trump L is like actually retarded. Like, Trump just got Mexico to put a constant 10,000 man patrol on the border. Like, fuck, dude.
From coming into our country. They have a big incentive to do. Other than that, we've agreed to talk and consider various other things. We haven't agreed on tariffs yet, and maybe we will, maybe we won't.
Like, it's crazy how he uses tariffs like there's such an unbelievable business move. Like, he puts tariffs, he removes the tariffs because they put soldiers. He'll want something later, tariffs come back. And it just fucking keeps happening. It's like such a crazy negotiating tactic. It's insane. Oh my God. I think it made relations with America's neighbors worse. There was no border! Relations were worse. Bro, they're different countries that are relying on each other for different things. All right, bro.
But we have a very good relationship. I also
Relations are fine.
Prime Minister Trudeau of Canada.
I call him Governor Trudeau.
And we had a good talk in the morning, but I did ask him a couple of questions, like, you know, banks aren't allowed to do business in Canada.
Oh,
Canada
shit.
is very tough.
Yeah, I covered the Canada thing if you want to see my whole thing on that. As a Canadian and an American, my insight is better than everyone else's. Any coverage you got from somewhere else was probably not Canadian enough or American enough. I'm pretty based in that way. I'm pretty cool. I even do a Trump impression. I'm not very good at it, but my cock is orange.
Canada is very, we're not treated well by Canada, and we have to be treated well.
And if we don't, the tariffs come back.
Banks are not, as an example, allowed. Did you know that? That American banks are not allowed to do business in Canada. Can you believe that? And
as a dual citizen, that is so frustrating. It's so frustrating that I have an American bank account and then I can't use that branch in Canada. And God, it's so annoying.
That's one of many things that we talked about, and I think we'll win most of the subjects. But for some reason, a lot of things have been very unfair with Canada. I noticed that in the first term. You deal with people, and after a while, you begin to realize, like you learn that Larry Ellison's very tough to do business with, okay? He's a very tough guy. I'm sure you're shocked to hear that. But Canada is very tough. They're very, very tough to do business with. And
very excited for the future. It's gonna be great. We're gonna soon make incredible allies with everyone. Everyone's gonna love it. You see, we have the United States of America in the middle. We're going to take over Canada, and then we will invade Mexico to take out the terrorists over there. We will be renaming this glorious country as the United States of Cum, and everyone will love it. It'll be a glorious time. It'll be great. The memers will be happy. Gen Z will be thrilled. Don't worry, everyone will love it.
We can't let them take advantage of the U.S. They don't take our agricultural product for the most part. They don't take our cars. They make cars, but they basically don't take our cars. And, you know, we don't need, and look, I think we're going to have another good conversation today. We're actually speaking at 3 o'clock again. But we don't need them to make our cars. We don't need them to give us lumber. We don't need them for agricultural products because we have all the...
Business is a two-way street. I don't think... Listen, as a Canadian, Canada is not America's charity. America needs to focus on America, and Canada has a lot to give and definitely has a lot of tools at their disposal to make deals with America that it'll work out in a way where both parties will win. It is a two-way street, and that's how it should be.
Agriculture we need. They don't take our agricultural product for the most part, our milk, dairy, etc. A little bit they do, but not...
They do. That they do. Don't know what to say about that. They do, though. That one they do.
Much. We take theirs. And as far as cars are concerned, they took in a big percentage, almost 19% of the market. And, you know, I wouldn't mind making our...
Do you know how many Cadillacs we rigged with landmines to get this deal? It was a great deal.
Cars in the United States, so we have a problem there. I'd like to make our cars in the U.S. We don't need Canada to make our cars. With that being said, we're going to have another call at 3 o'clock. We had a call this morning. It was a pretty good call, I'd say. So the call with Mexico went very well in the sense that they're very strong now on the border. They're going to put soldiers there. Actually, they're their best military soldiers, and they're going to be at the border, 10,000. That's a lot of soldiers, and they want to protect it also. You know, they don't want people running through Mexico coming.
By the way, apparently Mexico coincidentally just busted a massive fentanyl bust, like the biggest in years, and immediately reported to the White House. So that sounds like balls are in America's court. It's kind of crazy.
Through Mexico to come into our country, so they're going to do that, and then we're going to talk about other
cameraman, stop
things over the next, and we're going to have over the next 30 days, we're going to have Scott, Howard, and Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, lead the delegation, and we're going to have a big negotiation with Mexico. I'll be involved too, and President Sheinbaum will be involved to see whether or not we can work something out on the tariffs.
What about tariffs?
China, we'll be speaking to China probably over the next
12 China, I love China. I love the people there, and they love me too, but we got to be hard on China.
24 hours.
China, President Trump.
We don't want fentanyl coming into our country. Now, we had another big thing, speaking of China. China's involved with the Panama Canal. They won't be for long.
Ooh! Next flex. What's this one about?
And that's the way it has to be. Walker just got back, as you know, in the process of coming back. I guess he's almost back by now. And he had a very long conversation with the leader of Panama, the respected man. And
this guy's fighting demons. I don't know what he's doing. He's fighting demons.
Some others, the entire leadership group. And we're trying to work a deal on the Panama Canal. The Panama Canal was given foolishly.
I love how he repeats the whole backstory of the Panama Canal every time. It's like trying to explain Warhammer 40K lore to somebody that doesn't know anything about it. And you're like, so it all started 60 million years ago. The Necrons and the old ones butt each other too close to the sun. It was crazy. But bro, it's wild, dog. Panama, let me remind you about the Panama Canal. So it all started off back in the days of yore.
Years ago it shouldn't have happened years ago to Panama, like Jimmy Carter and the group.
The group.
We lost 38,000 people.
He knows most people don't know. They built the canal. Carter gave it over. It was a bad deal. Now it's Panama's.
Building the Panama Canal, like one of the great wonders of the world. It's the biggest job we've ever built, the biggest project we've ever built in this country, dollar-wise and every other way.
You'd need $50 million of condoms to drain the water of the Panama Canal. It's a lot of water.
38,000 people died, Americans, all men, just about.
All men? What about the DEI hires? We should have killed them too. Sorry, that was rude. That was uncalled for.
Laborers and construction people that went to Panama. The mosquito got them. Between mosquito and snakes, we lost 38,000 people. It was the most expensive project ever built by the United States. The biggest, most expensive project we ever built 110 years ago. If you bring it up to now, it would have been the equivalent of $2 trillion. The most expensive we ever built, and we gave it away for $1, okay? We gave it away essentially for nothing. And we either want it back or we're going to get something very strong, or we're going to take it back.
He always has that or we'll get something else. He's a businessman. He's putting pressure because he wants something. He might not get the Panama Canal, but he's gonna get what he wants. That's how this man operates, and so far it's been like working insanely well.
And China will be dealt with.
Bruh, what is that? Sounds so scary. That's like anime villain monologue. They will be dealt with.
We didn't give
The Power Rangers will be dealt with.
that to China. We gave it to Panama. We
All right, yeah, classic reporter filming with an iPhone, then shitting on YouTubers.
shouldn't have given it to Panama, but Panama, as you know, has violated the agreement, totally violated the agreement. So that's in the process right now, but they did have a very good meeting with the head of Panama.
But in terms of the tariffs on China, Mr. President.
On China, could you say your current thinking about whether China should be forced to pay reparations for fentanyl deaths and the million?
They're talking about that, but they do have tariffs. Honestly, nobody, the amount of money that was lost and most importantly, the lives lost because of COVID is not something that anybody could ever even imagine. It's probably $60 trillion, and all the countries in the world don't have $60 trillion. The amount of death and the amount of destruction and the amount of money lost is probably $60 trillion. I had it figured by people about 3 months ago. It figured out. Nobody knows what the real number is, but it's almost an infinite number. The damage done, no, but I have not discussed that. What I have discussed is we'll have some good meetings with China. We have meetings.
Dude, he's gonna try to hold China accountable for COVID damage. Holy shit.
Planned, and we'll see what happens. But that was just an opening salvo. If we can't make a deal with China, then the tariffs will be very, very substantial.
It's all part of the plan. He wants something. There's something that he wants. There is something he wants, goddammit.
Okay, I'm going to sign this one.
Sir, this is, you've obviously made making America healthy again a key priority of this administration. A key component of that is obviously heart health. This is a ceremonial proclamation declaring the month of February to be National Heart Month.
Okay. I hear we're doing very well with nominations. We'll see, but it looks like we're doing very well with nominations.
Mr. President,
I mean, I'm pretty sure his approval rating just hit an all-time high. So, like, people are loving it.
have you been involved with calling senators who had some concerns about Tulsi Gabbard or RFK? You have?
We've gotten great response, and they want to do what's right, and we've had a good response. I think we'll do well.
Dude, this man's been cooking. You can't keep up with the shit Trump does. You could literally sit on your ass and follow Trump all day. You can't keep up with what he's doing, who he's calling, and what's happening. It's insane.
We have great people like this. We have great people coming in. I think.
Look at these guys smiling. You glaze Trump, Trump glazes you back. It's glaze all around.
I'd like to say the best ever recruited for government.
Oh, look at these guys. This guy's holding back a grin too. That's
recruited for government.
We will make America fatphobic again. It'll be fantastic. Everyone will hate fat people like in the good old days.
Will it take an act of Congress to...
And you know what? You're starting to see that because we've done more in 2 weeks than Biden's done in 5 years, 6 years. They could be here between him and...
6 years? Where the fuck did he find 6 years? Whoa! I love the exaggerations. We've done more in 2 weeks than Biden's done in 6 years. Which 6 years? Any 6. You could pick the 6. He's been alive for a lot of them.
Obama, you add it up, okay? We've done more in 2 weeks than they've done in 12 years.
Will it take an act of Congress to...
Bro, wasn't he the president between? I mean, sure, slap him with your cock. It'll be good.
do away with USAID, or do you believe you have the legal authority to do that?
No, not when it comes to fraud. If there's fraud, these people are lunatics. And if it comes to fraud, you wouldn't have an act of Congress, and I'm not sure that you would anyway. But we just want to do the right thing. It's something that should have been done a long time ago. It went crazy during the Biden administration. They went totally crazy what they were doing, and the money they were giving to people that shouldn't be getting it, and to agencies and others that shouldn't be getting it. It was a shame. So. They're tremendous fraud, but we'll be doing...
I mean, I think we all know that the government's doing fraud. Like, I feel like, listen, they claim $177 billion went to Ukraine, and according to Zelensky in Ukraine only got $75 billion. Now, I don't know where that $102 billion went, but it didn't go to this guy!
A report, we'll be giving you that report at the appropriate time.
As you know, in the first term, though, USAID was something that you liked in some respects.
I love the concept.
Ivanka had
Yeah.
had some programs.
I love the concept, but they turn out to be radical left lunatics.
Oh my
and the
God.
concept of it is good.
Bro, every time.
It's all about
Oh,
the
shit.
people.
Mr. President, you said you also want to impose tariffs on the EU. What kind of tariffs are you thinking about?
Well,
and
we
are-
have massive deficits with the European Union, massive, like $350 billion, if you can believe it. They don't take our farm product. They don't take our cars. They don't take almost anything. But
Crazy. He knows exactly what every single country doesn't take from the US. And he is using that insane, like, random business knowledge and tidbits to talk about why it's good to tariff them.
we take their cars. We have millions of cars coming in, BMW and Mercedes-Benz and Volkswagen and just so many different
Look at her trying to keep up with Trump on 2 phones. I told you, you can't keep up with him on just 1 phone.
cars, and we don't do anything about that. And we don't charge them tariffs. They make it impossible to sell cars in the European Union.
I mean, to be honest, though, who wants Ford in the EU? Like, just fighting back here.
They make it very difficult. Agricultural
Also, Tesla's everywhere, right? Pretty sure Tesla's actually everywhere.
product. They actually don't take it. And they have a lot of excuses. Some of them are the pesticides and the different chemicals used. And
Yeah.
Bobby Kennedy actually is looking at that very, very seriously.
Yeah, that is wild.
Maybe it's not necessary to use all of that. You know, we want to be the healthiest country, and we're not. We spend
Yeah.
more money on food than anybody else in terms of its creation, but we're not the healthiest country. So
Make fat phobia based again. Let's make fun of fat people, not to insult them. No, we care about their mental health, but merely to get them to maybe consider losing some of their excess.
maybe there is something to the fact that we shouldn't be using so much chemical. And maybe
it's a
that'll
good
stop.
thought.
But
That's a
Kennedy's
good
the one-
thought.
He is not a believer in all of the things we have done, and neither are the Europeans.
We should feed food that only has 1 ingredient each. Someone goes to a restaurant and orders fish, the only ingredient should be fish. Oh my God.
So we'll see what happens. But they use it as an excuse not to buy our product. And I asked a couple of the leaders, I don't want to use names, but how many Chevrolets or Fords do you see in the middle of Munich? And the answer is none, because they don't take any cars. They don't take anything. So the European has abused the United States for years.
Damn.
And
Like, he knows exactly which countries take and don't take which products of the United States. Like, and he knows off the top of his head too. Like, it's kind of wild. Like, he really has an incredible business sense. Say whatever you want about him. Like, his business sense is undeniable.
they can't do that. And they want to make a deal. Let me tell you.
Keep the gay juice out of the water. They don't want our water. It turns people gay.
In all cases, they all want to make deals. There's nobody that doesn't want to make deals. They've been abusers, and they want to make deals. So we'll see about that. But we'll have, I think, some very fair. All we want is a fair deal. And you know, there's a word reciprocal. I'd go right now, reciprocal tariffs on everybody.
There's the word reciprocal. I go to jail to have reciprocal visits with my wife. I mean, that's a different word. Not talking about that.
Because many of the countries that you
Dude, I'm telling you, the orange spirit has entered my soul, and now I just say things. Take nothing I say seriously.
feel so horrible about the way they're being treated by Trump, you're saying, oh, President Trump is so terrible to them. Well, they charge us tariffs. European Union has a VAT tax, which is through the roof, okay? It's a similar thing, similar to a tariff. It's a VAT.
I wonder what he uses those fingers for.
And
Cameraman on crack, for real.
they have it, and it's numbers like you wouldn't believe. And Canada, I told you about the banks, and I told you they charge us. And people don't say that. They don't like to say it. Just like they don't like to say that I opened up the water for California. It's a great thing. It's too bad they didn't do it themselves. I had to do it.
What the fuck were they thinking that they didn't do it themselves?
And it was not easy. We did it a very rough way. And I didn't like to do it a rough way. We shouldn't have to do it a rough way. But
I mean, he's right.
a lot of these countries that we're talking about, you know, they're so-called allies, but they don't treat us well. And just like I got...
That's why whenever I see people talking about, like, relations and stuff like that, dude, this isn't harming the relations of Canada and America. You think Canada's gonna, what, their army's gonna get on horseback and fight America? Like, dog. Nothing's gonna change, ultimately, except it's gonna be, I think, probably a fairer business deal in regards to Canada and America.
$420 billion, and now it's actually over $600 billion. The Secretary General of NATO came in 2 weeks ago, and he said it was a miracle when Trump came in, when President Trump came into NATO. He said it was $636 billion. by saying to them, no, you have to pay. And if you don't pay, we're not going to be there for you. You know, somebody has to say it, and they paid.
Yeah.
And it was a large amount of money. And one of the problems we have with the Russia-Ukraine situation is that we wanted to see some equalization, because we're in for close to $300 billion and they're in for $200 billion less. Why are they in for less? Because Biden never asked them for money. He never said, you got to pay. He never did. All he did is hand out money. So we're talking with them right now, and we're actually working some deals right now. So we have some guarantees and some other things to keep that whole situation to go, really going. I mean, going. We're telling Ukraine they have very valuable rare earth. We want what we put up to go in terms of a guarantee. We want a guarantee. We're handing them money hand over fist. We're giving them equipment. European is not keeping up with us. They should equalize. Look, we have an ocean in between. They don't. It's more important for them than it is for us.
Dude, that's how you do business. Unfortunately, that's just life. That's how business works. You have something that they want, they have something that you want, and you make a deal.
Way below us.
This is like how leverage happens in every business deal ever. The United States doesn't owe anyone anything. That's what I think the world seems to like forget. Everyone gets so upset at Trump. Why do they owe everyone? Listen, I am in Canada, okay? But dog, like bro, basic shit.
In terms of money, and they should be paying at least equal. They should really be paying much more than us, but let's say equal to us, and they're billions and billions of dollars below. So we're looking to do a deal with Ukraine where they're going to secure what we're giving them with their rare earth and other things.
Mr. President, in terms of the deal with Mexico this morning, was that partially related to the market reaction and the criticism from Mr. Murdoch's own newspaper? He called it the dumbest trade war on the editorial page on Saturday.
I'm gonna have to talk to him.
Yo, he's making drama.
Was this market reaction or concern about...
Bro, this guy's newspaper called it the dumbest trade war. No.
Right,
the
over
economy?
the Wall Street Journal many times. I
don't want to pick
agree
a
with
fight
him on
here.
some-
Yes, you do. You fucking lying bitch reporter asshole. You do want to pick a fight, and honestly, I respect you for it.
No, it's not only is it not them. You're gonna see. You're gonna see.
He's right, though. He literally just proved it. That's the craziest thing. He proved it in 24 hours that it wasn't dumb.
Every single...
Like, here's the thing. Anyone that thinks that it's a trade war is dumb because they don't realize it's leverage for a whole ass other thing.
One of those countries is dying to make a deal. You know why? Because they're ripping us off really badly. And the United States is tired of we're just being ripped off. And that's why we have $36 trillion in debt. We have it for a reason, because we make bad deals with everybody. And we don't allow that anymore. So the Wall Street Journal is wrong, because very simply, every single country that you're writing about right now is dying to make a deal, because the deals they have right now are so good and so good for them and so profitable for them. You didn't know that Canada didn't allow our banks. You didn't know all...
I did. Fuck. I did.
All of these different things. And I think in the end, you're going to see that either very, very substantial tariffs are going to be paid by them, or they're going to make some kind of a deal.
So did you blink this morning, or did Mexican President Sheinbaum blink? Did you blink this morning, or did your counterpart?
She's a wonderful woman, but she did agree to 10,000 soldiers on the border.
It's almost like that was literally what he wanted all along. And the craziest thing is, okay, you could call this a pre-watch moment, but I'm telling you, there's going to be something else Trump is going to want, and the tariffs are going to come back. And Mexico's gonna complain, and Twitter's gonna go crazy, and he's gonna have a meeting, and the tariffs will leave, and he'll get what he wants. I'm telling you, that's how this man is operating. Like, it's such a dumb question. Like, and it's such a dumb narrative, and you see people absolutely losing it saying that Trump folded, when Trump literally got a secure border paid by Mexico. Like, you remember when Trump ran in 2016, he said, we're gonna have a wall, it's gonna be a big wall, an orange wall, and Mexico is gonna pay for that wall. Mexico is literally paying for that wall with 10,000 soldiers. Like, you realize?
Say that's a lot? Would you say that's pretty good?
Isn't that extortion? I think that's business.
1,000 soldiers on the border, and the 10,000 soldiers are going to keep illegal aliens out, and they're going to keep...
Stop fentanyl. Fentanyl came in. Fentanyl has killed 200,000 people. Killed by fentanyl. Cryo Trump every 4 years.
...them out, seriously out.
We freeze me. We pull me out. Win the election. Put me back away. I step out. I save the world. Cryo Trump. All right, I'm kidding. I'm kidding on the Cryo Trump thing. Unless...
and otherwise they're going to have a big penalty. Mexico is going to be penalized. They're not going to come through Mexico anymore, and they're not going to let the fentanyl come in from China. And China hopefully is going to stop sending us fentanyl, and if they're not, the tariffs are going to go substantially higher.
Sir, just to clarify, when you said about Ukraine earlier, the rare earths, is that something you want them to give the rare earths to the United States?
Yeah.
Yes, I want...
We're putting in hundreds of...
Bro sounds like Enel from One Piece. I want the land of unlimited worth. It's gonna be big. It's gonna be crazy. I would destroy Sky Island for that earth. Nux, can I make a short series explaining Nux memes? Absolutely. There's a lot of them.
Billions of dollars. They have great rare earth, and I want security of the rare earth, and they're willing to do it.
Sir, you mentioned earlier that Elon Musk...
On Canada, when you talk to Justin Trudeau again, is there anything he can give you at 3 p.m. when you talk again to also secure a pause, like you said, with Mexico?
We have big deficits with Canada, like we do with all countries. I mean, I look at some of the deals made, I say, who the hell made these deals? Are so bad.
Oh my God,
But
dude, he's
with
cooking. It's
Canada,
crazy. It's crazy.
I have a talk with him, and you maybe know or maybe not. We're going to meet again or talk again at 3 o'clock, right after my next meeting, and we'll see what happens. I can't tell you what's going to happen.
You mentioned that you could agree to change your mind on the
Well,
tariffs?
we can always, look, what I'd like to see, Canada become our 51st state. We give...
Oh my fucking God. He's still going with that. Again, everyone thinks it's crazy. I think it's leverage. I really think it's leverage. He's saying this is what we want ultimately. And now anything that's... Okay, let me explain how deals work. You throw out an offer that they will not accept. They will give you a counter offer that you will not accept, and you end up somewhere in the middle. If he says that he wants to buy all of Canada, then all of a sudden, everything that is not literally buying Canada is a compromise. That is insane business strategies.
Give them protection, military protection. We don't need them to build our cars. I'd rather see Detroit or South Carolina or any one of our, Tennessee, any one of our states build the cars. They could do it very easily. We don't need them for the cars. We don't need them for lumber. We don't need them for anything. We don't need them for energy.
Oh,
we have more energy than they do. We don't need them for energy. So I say, why are we doing this? Why do we...
We're gonna buy Canada. We'll make Canada the 51st state. It's gonna be good except for Quebec. We'll leave Quebec alone. It can be its own country. We don't want them. Too many French people.
Why are we willing to lose between $100 billion and $200 billion a year? We don't need them. As a state, it's different. As a state, it's much different. And there are no tariffs. So I'd love to see that, but some people say that would be a long shot. If people wanted to play the game right, it would be 100% certain that they'd become a state. But a lot of people don't like to play the game because they don't have a threshold of pain.
Dude, it's crazy. Like, his demand is like so wildly unreasonable, and he knows that. But now they'll just meet in the middle somewhere.
There would be some pain, but not a lot.
What does that mean, there would be some pain?
The pain would be really there. So we're going to meet...
The pain would be theirs. What the fuck? Oh my God. Oh no.
Again, by phone at 3 o'clock, and we'll let you know.
Israel President Trump preparing to meet with Benjamin Netanyahu.
Coming in tomorrow.
Yes, you've mentioned in the past you're concerned about Israel being too small geographically. Would you support annexation of parts of the West Bank by Israel?
Oh God!
I'm going to talk about that. It certainly is a small. It's a small country in terms of land. See this pen, this wonderful pen? Desk is the Middle East, and this pen, the top of the pen, that's Israel.
I mean, he's not wrong. Israel is very small.
That's not good, right? You know.
That's not good, he says. That's not. He's actually. Wait. He's making a lot of memes about buying Canada and Greenland. But is he implying he wants to expand Israel? He's a man of peace. He believes. Oh, that'll go well. 4 years of content is going to be crazy. Oh, Lord.
That's a pretty big difference. I use that as an analogy. It's pretty accurate, actually.
I mean, size-wise, it's accurate, but the implication of what he's saying is crazy. Oh, crap.
It's a pretty small piece of land.
Yeah?
And it's amazing that they've
small.
been able to do what they've been able to do when you think about it. It's a lot of good,
it is amazing.
Smart brain power, but is a very
what's the conclusion?
Small piece of land, no question about it.
Mr. President, you said earlier that Elon Musk...
I love how he doesn't answer. He did not answer the question. He made some strong implications. We're gonna give Greenland to Israel. It's gonna be crazy. What's going on?
With your say so, is there everything that he has done thus far, going to all the agencies, shutting off access, getting access to federal payments, that all has you're okay with all of that?
For the most part, yeah. If there was something that didn't have my okay, I'd let you know about it really fast.
And you said there's some areas where you wouldn't let him work because he has conflicts of interest.
No, I haven't seen that. And he would know not to do it. So we haven't had that yet. But if there was a conflict, we would let him work in that.
Earlier you said with regard to Panama that they were going to make a deal, or the U.S. was going to take it. How long do they have to make that sort of deal, and are you still leaving on the table military action?
We're going to meet with Panama on Friday at about 3:30 in the afternoon by phone, and maybe there'll be some representatives at here or there. But we're going to be talking to Panama on Friday, essentially.
Right.
And they've agreed to certain things, but I'm not happy.
You see, but that's the thing. They're already agreeing. He wants the canal. They don't want to do that. They already agree to certain things, and now you meet in the middle. Classic Trump strategy.
Happy with it.
On the Middle East, Mr. President, if I may, do you still have doubts that the ceasefire will hold?
On what?
On the Middle East, do you think the ceasefire will?
No assurances that it'll hold. I've seen people brutalized. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. No, I have no guarantees that the peace is going to hold.
Come on, the peace is not going to hold. Let's be real here. There's been very old beef. There have been a lot of ceasefires.
Steve, you might want to say something about that. See what...
It's holding so far.
Yeah, true.
We're certainly hopeful, and that's the president's direction. Get the hostages out and save lives and come to hopefully a peaceful settlement of it all. So far it's holding.
All right. Well.
Mr. President, on a different topic, questionnaires have been going out to FBI agents across the country who were involved potentially in the investigation. Do you believe anyone involved at any level should be fired, sir?
Well, I think the FBI was a very corrupt institution, and I'm a victim of it in a true sense. I was able to beat it, but other people have been treated horribly. I think the FBI had a great reputation. I think its reputation was really damaged badly as
we'll see. We'll see.
Look at what they've done in terms of weaponization. Look at what they've done to a political opponent. Probably got me elected by what they did.
But should the agents
I think I was
be fired?
doing well anyway, but they might have got me elected. But you know what? We have to have pristine, beautiful, perfect law enforcement. And what we want to do, and Cash is the one to do it. He's the one guy that is going to do it. We have to bring the reputation of the FBI. We have to bring the fact of the FBI back to what it
a lot of people don't respect the FBI at all anymore.
Could be. Not even to what it was, even better than it ever was. Because who would have thought that the FBI could have been corrupted like they were corrupted?
Really? Who would have thought that the giant, super powerful government agency that literally controls everything is corrupt? Not me. Not this guy.
Who would have thought that would have happened?
Yeah, no, but it is wild. It is, the level of corruption is actually crazy when you think about it. The governing body, the people that are supposed to maintain peace and shit, interfering with unbelievable, unprecedented amount of political crap. It is mind-boggling.
Would have thought they would have been used to go after, political opponents, essentially, but me being the number one. And
true. It's crazy. It's insane. Why is that their business at all?
Other things beyond that, and they've been hurt very badly, and we'll see what happens. But Cash is the one to do it, and I hear he's doing very well. Cash will straighten it out.
We're going to be changing the name. FBI, it has a bad name these days. We rebrand. I know a thing or two about declaring bankruptcy. We're going to terminate the FBI and rename it to the TBI. Trump's Bureau of Investigation. It's going to be big. It's going to be a big orange building in the middle of New York. Everyone's going to love it.
Great confidence that we can make the FBI great again. Let's go one or two more.
Tulsi Gabbard's nomination is Tulsi Gabbard for intelligence.
I think we're doing okay.
So
I can't guarantee anything, but she's liked by so many people, especially people in the military and law enforcement.
She has a little bit of trouble with some senators over her thoughts on Edward Snowden. I know Snowden, you've mentioned in the past you're thinking about pardoning him. Are you still, and what do you think about that criticism
No, I
of her?
don't talk about it right now. I just, people feel very differently. Some people think he should be pardoned, and some people think it would be a terrible thing to do. I don't get involved in that.
Mr. President,
Trump doesn't want none of that drama. He's got too much of his own shit going on.
discussing with Mr. Murdoch and Mr. Ellison.
Just respect. I have great respect for Rupert Murdoch. I disagree with him a lot of times with the Wall Street Journal, but that's all right. We've disagreed before, and I'm sure they didn't have any idea what they were talking about, because already you see what's happening. Look at Colombia. Look at what happened with that. Everybody said that with Colombia it was going to be a disaster. In one In 1 hour, everything was settled. You know why? Tariffs. Without tariffs, they wouldn't have been the same way. They would not have treated me the way they treated me, which was extremely nicely. And I don't want to use countries, I don't want to use names, but tariffs are very powerful, both economically and in getting everything else you want. Tariffs for us, nobody can compete with us because we're the pot of gold. But if we don't keep winning and keep doing well, we won't be the pot of gold, and then tariffs won't be so good for us. But when you're the pot of gold, the tariffs are...
Look, when you have more chips to bargain, then you can make bigger demands. That's just basic shit, even though for some reason Twitter thinks that makes you a bad guy. But then again, Twitter thinks if you're successful, you're a bad guy. So therefore, fuck the morons out there. Their opinions are worth very little to me.
The tariffs are very good. They're very powerful, and they're going to make our country very rich again. Thank you very much, everybody.
Yeah, damn. Dude spits. It's crazy. I love his executive order signing, question answering things. Like, they literally ask him literally everything. And he cooks. And he cooks. Sometimes he says things that I don't know if I necessarily agree / understand. And sometimes he's just absolutely is based. It's crazy. But anyway... Thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate it. Subscribe for more updates into the Cryo Trump project. We are currently working on it. We are at high stages of the government. I'm talking to my 4,000 Jewish relatives that are overseeing the Illuminati right now. We're trying to put it into place. It's going to be crazy. Subscribe for more chaos. I love chaos. I love meltdowns. People lost their shit. Trump folded to Mexico. Trump folded to Canada because they have zero media literacy. Love all of those guys. Thanks for the content. And remember to stay weird, fam. Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay weird, fam.